Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So we're still looking at trigonometry, and today we are going to look at maximum and minimum values. How do we find them? What do they mean by these values? If they tell you find the maximum value of this, normally it's given as a function, and they tell you to find the maximum and the minimum value of the function. So for sine x and cos x, the maximum and minimum values is -1. This is for sine, or you can call it cos x. 1. This is the maximum and minimum value for sine and cos. Whereas tangents actually do not have a maximum or minimum value. That is, their maximum or minimum value is infinity because they divide over 0. So when you try to get it, actually on your calculator, it will show you a math error because it's actually infinity. So by this, let me give you an example. They may say, give you a question, find the maximum and minimum values of the following. Let's say the first one, y equals to 3 sine x. Are we together? So they give you this, they tell you find the maximum and minimum value. Remember we said -1 for sine. This is the range with which they follow. So if they tell you, you try to put this equation into this, when you try to fix it in and multiply 3 sine x, it means you have to multiply all this by actually 3. So it will give you -3 sine x, and this is 3. So this will be the maximum value, and this will be the minimum value, and this will actually be the maximum value. Let me give you another example. Let me try to make it a little bit harder. They tell you find the maximum and minimum value of 2 cos x plus 5. Actually, this is simple. Remember we said the range is -1. The range of cos and sine is negative to +1. So after knowing this, we are going to first put in the 2. -1 times 2. First put in the 2 cos x. 1 times 2. This becomes -2. 2 cos x. This is 2, the range. And we also add 5. Remember now it is 2 cos x plus 5. This is now 2 cos x. We add 5. This is 2 plus 5. And this is 2 plus 5. So when you see -2 plus 5 actually gives us 3. 2 cos x plus 5 equals 2. This is 5 plus 2, 5, 6, 7. So automatically this will be our maximum value, and this will be our minimum value. I hope we are all actually together. So for that case, let us try to continue. So this is how it's actually done. You first multiply throughout, you subtract, and then you actually get the answer. So now, what if now it becomes a squared? Sine squared x and cos squared x. Actually now here, the minimum will become 0. The minimum is 0. And the maximum is actually 1. Are we together? So that means that for any, so this is the rule that you should actually follow. If it is if it's to power an odd number, are we together? The maximum or minimum will follow this range of -1 to the function to +1. But if it is to power an even number, that is 2, 4, 6. Actually, the range will be 0 to the function to 1. So for this instance here, the range actually will follow that. It will be from 0 to 1. An example of this, if we are given a function, find the maximum or minimum value of the function y equals to negative 5 cos squared x. Are we together? No, it was 2 minus 5 cos squared x. Are we together? So with this, we start. Remember, we said for squareds, we have 0. The range is 0 to 1. Are we together? So, but we have negative 5 cos squared x. Are we together? So we first try to put the 5. When we put 5 cos squared x, that means we shall multiply here by 5. And shall also get 1 and multiply here by 5. So this will be 0, 5 cos squared x. And this is 5. But we have a negative. So when we give a negative throughout, actually these signs change. When we divide throughout by a negative or multiply throughout by a negative, these signs will change to, signs will change to that. Since we have this negative, a negative working out, or this multiplying it through it out, or dividing it through it out, it will actually give you this. So then after we have a 2, we are going to put a 2, which is plus 2. This is 2 minus 5 cos squared x. This is 5 plus 2. Actually, see our answer is 2. This is 2 minus 5 cos squared x. 5 plus 2 is 7. There is an example here that I forgot that I actually wanted to show you in this first part here, where somehow, in case you're given two equations, let's say for example we have y equals to, let's say we have what can we use? Let's say we have 3 sine squared x plus 3 sine x plus 4 cos x. Now for such an instance, if you're given this, the first thing you have to do is that you have to actually get what we call the hypotenuse. To get the hypotenuse in this case, you have to get square root of 3 squared plus 4 squared. We together. So gave you square root of 25, because if you had 16 plus 9, 25, the answer is 5. Are we together? So now you say y equals to, now this hypotenuse 5 sine of a value x plus an unknown that. So we actually get the one for this. Are we together? So it's the same thing. Here you would have said this was negative 1 sine x plus this, and this is 1. So when you multiply throughout by 5, this gives you 5 sine x plus this equals to 1 times 5, which is 5. So for such instances, you'll see that this will be the maximum and this will be the minimum. But this happens in case you have both sine and cos. We shall also see an example here down. Are we together? Let me try to show you that example here. Now, for example, if we have a question that tells us, let me try to look for one here. Because remember we said anything like sine x is that, cos x is that. But before we go to that, let me try to give you one more example. We have 3 sine squared x plus 2. Are we together? So for such an instance, we would also do the same. This is sine squared x. We said the range here is 0 and 1. So we first multiply throughout by the 3. When we put this, becomes 3 sine squared x. 3 times 1, which is 3. We add the 2, so it becomes 0 plus 2, which is 2. 3 sine squared x plus 2, and 3 plus this, which is actually 5. So the maximum will be the other, and the minimum will be this other. So now what if we're given both sine and cos? An example in this point, we have 2 sine squared x plus 3 cos squared x. Are we together? And they want us to find the maximum and the minimum value of these points. So what you have to first do is to actually change these points to be either sine or cos. And the best formula here to use, remember we have this formula in sine squared x plus cos squared x equals to 1. This is a formula, a standard formula that is in trigonometry that you have to know, that sine squared x plus cos squared x equals to 1. We shall actually look at it in the later stages as I'm teaching. Though I've jumped to that, I wanted to come exactly to this, but I'll try to make more videos about it. So from this, you can either decide to use sine or cos. Let me say I've decided to use cos, and I make cos the subject of the formula. So I'll say cos squared x equals to 1 minus sine squared x. That means whenever there is cos squared x, I'll put in sine squared x. So that means this will be 2 sine squared x plus 3 into what is cos squared x? It is 1 minus sine squared x. So this will leave us with 2 sine squared x plus 3 minus 3 sine squared x. Are we together? So this leaves us with 3. This is 2 minus 3, which is minus 1, which is minus sine squared x. Are we together? But remember we said for sine squared x, the maximum is 0. This is actually a 1. So if it's a negative, the signs will change. Squared x, the sign changes to, if we multiply here, it becomes negative 1. Are we together? Then after actually putting in this, so what follows after this, we shall do what? We shall actually add the 3. So here it becomes 3, because 3 plus this, so it's 3 plus 0, it's that, and this is 3 minus sine squared x, and this is 3 times negative 1, which is actually negative 3. So we shall see this will be our minimum, and this will be our maximum. It's still the same. If it is put to the power 3, sine to the power 3, we said if they are odd numbers, their ranges will be from negative 1 to 1. If they are put to even numbers, maybe sine 4x or cos to the power 4x, actually it will be 0. The range will be 0. All together, sine 4x or cos 4x to 1. Alright, together. Let me try to make an example here. I have one here of this. Maybe they say find the maximum and minimum value of sine 4x plus cos 4x. They tell you y equals to this, and I tell you to find the maximum and minimum value of this. So it's actually still the same concept. We shall use the formula of sine squared x plus cos squared x equals to 1. We square both sides. So this will give us, now here I'll try to get it from a plus b squared. This is the same as a squared plus b squared plus 2ab. All together, so I'll try to fix it in. This is sine of, because it's a square, it becomes 4x plus cos 4x plus 2 sine squared x cos squared x equals to 1. All right, together. So this actually moves this side, and remain with sine 4x plus cos 4x equals to 1 minus 2 sine squared x cos squared x. So after reaching this, we know that this sine squared x and cos squared x, because remember when we were working out here, let me try to show you. Something. Okay, I'm not seeing it, but the greatest value of sine squared x and and cos squared x is actually 1 over 4. So this is just 1 minus 2 into 1 over 4. It's 1 minus a half. You guess with half as the answer. Thank you. Please don't forget to like and subscribe.